Hi everyone, how are you? Can you hear me okay? How is the audio? Please let me know. Welcome to another Q&A meeting. If you have any question, please send them in one at a time. Please be brief and precise. If this is your first time to join the meeting, please let me know where you come from. I'm sorry today I'm a little bit late. Had a little problem with the camera setting, so I have to tweak it, but now it's working okay. So I shall start reading your question and comment. Enilam Satu, LC Sumento Satu, Gimbunchu Satu, Nabiti Namasakan Ajahn from Medan, Indonesia. Thank you. JW Lee, good afternoon, Tan Ajahn. Thank you very much for your teaching. May your meritorious virtue and Dhamma practice always bring you peace, good health, and longevity. Sound is clear. Thank you. Sucho Y Satu. Check link Tan. Greetings dear Tanajan. Audio and video are clear. Thank you. Greetings to you. Kenneth Hunt, Professor. Good morning, Tanajan. All is clear. Thank you. Patty Pramsuwong, Namaskar Ka Tanajan. Greetings from Bangkok. Sound is clear. Thank you. Kim Bun Chu, Satu. Gen Yen So, dear Tanajan. Greetings from Penang. Greetings to you. Kim Bun Chu, Ajahn. Afternoon. Good afternoon to you. James Ong, greetings Ajahn. Picture, sound clear. Good, thank you. Chinese character, greetings to you Ajahn from Singapore. Yeo SC, greetings Tanajan. Kenneth Tan Keyboard, greetings Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Thank you. May you all be well and happy too. I hope you still keep on practicing the Dhamma practice of bhavana. Practice mindfulness, practice samadhi, and practice vipassana. Sue Kelly, good evening, Tanajan. Glad to see you. Glad to see you here. Glad to hear from you too. I hope you are well and meditating. You should take meditation as your first priority. Try to do as much meditation, because if your mind is not calm, you will not be happy no matter what you do. So please try to meditate to make yourself happy. Then you will be happy doing everything else. Hemlata M. Prajan, greetings from India. Greetings to you. Adi Aha Satu. Question from Levan, California, USA. Can I cultivate good karma by helping patients? As a pharmacist, does dana have to be money donation? Not necessarily. Giving help in any form, material help, knowledge help. You can help people by giving them the right knowledge. If you're a pharmacist, maybe you can tell them the right type of medication to use, for instance, without charging them any money for your service. Whatever you do without charging people for your service, this is considered to be dana also. Like right now, I'm giving you Dhamma talk. This is also a form of merit, good karma, a form of giving. There are three types of giving you can give. One, give material things. Two, give knowledge. Three, give Dhamma. So you can give whatever you have without charging any money in return. Billy, good afternoon, Ajahn. I would like to ask how to overcome doubt in taking decisions or doing things. Like I'm doing the right thing or I'm doing things in the appropriate way. I have the tendency to worry to make mistakes. Thank you. Well, generally, whatever you do, you should consider the recipient of your action. One, yourself. Two, the other person. Whatever you do, if it makes you happy or other people happy, and not hurting them or hurting yourself, then this is the right action to take. Anything else, whatever you do, even if it makes you happy but hurting other people, then this is not the right action to take. So the action to take should be beneficial to yourself, to other people, or both, and not hurting yourself or not hurting other people, or both. Any action that follows the Noble Eightfold Path will be considered to be right action, good action. David Sila Ananda, Satu Satu. Sunny Lim, good day Ajahn. Thanks so much for teaching us the Dhamma. Satu Satu. Sue Kelly, thank you Ajahn, you read my mind. I'm struggling with meditation. It feels like hard work and I have been frustrated. The reason why it's hard because you're not mindful. So you should try to be more mindful with every movement of your body. Whatever you do, try to stay with your body. Keep watching your body. Like when you're brushing your teeth, just stay with brushing your teeth. Don't let your mind go elsewhere. So it might be a little bit hard because you normally like to do two things at the same time. You like to do something with your body and then you also want to do something else with your mind. Then you have to bring your mind and body in tandem. They should go hand in hand together. Once you can do this, then when you meditate, it will be in harmony. It will be easy and it will be pleasurable to do. So try to be mindful all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Terence T.H. Lee, hi Ajahn, greeting from Singapore. Thanks for your time in teaching the Dhamma. You're welcome. Metalo Satu. Dui Han, good afternoon Ajahn. I have been doing what I need to do to meditate in the morning and it seems to be acceptable. I will keep doing it before having to make any changes. I believe things will be okay when I can build up my mindfulness. Thank you. You are welcome. Yes, your key to practice is mindfulness. If you can control your mind and your thoughts, then your mind will be calm and peaceful. And then whatever you have to do will not bother you. So try to be mindful all the time, either with a mantra or by watching your body movement. Pasana Chunasevi, greeting and good afternoon, Ka. Ajahn, may I ask about addict to good karma? Will it be delusion at all, even if it makes the mind happy? No, addiction to good karma is the right type of addiction. It doesn't hurt yourself or other people. It makes yourself happy and make other people happy. At least if there are other people happy, you're not hurting them, then that's okay also. Bilim Suki Hontu Ajahn Satu Satu. Chompu MTR Satu. Alvin Lee, good afternoon Tanajan. Warmest regards from KL. Thanks very much for your Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. Duihan, thank you very much for your generous teaching. You're welcome. Goi RC, Satu Satu. SC Poa, Satu. Hemlata, Rajan, do we lose energy if we are not mindful? Yes, when you're not mindful, your mind is not concentrated. So you feel like your energy is being dissipated. So you feel weak and not strong. But when you're mindful, you're concentrating your energy in one point. So your mind becomes very strong. Kathleen Poor, Satu Satu Anumodami. J.W. Lee, I have been practicing meditation for about 26 years. I am a better person because of Dhamma teaching, which passed through many teachers. I seriously need to plan and create supportive conditions for a lifetime meditation practice. There is one of my teacher who is a decent venerable. He teaches by being a good example and practice what he preaches. His Dhamma made me have great faith, and I have been continuously enjoying long intensive meditation practice for 15-16 years, which result in development of wisdom by vipassana meditation practice to a certain level. Anyhow, I came across your teaching and found it to be practical, more compatible with my condition. Your teaching, especially in using wisdom, solved my problem immediately, just like I am taking correct medicine. In spite of that, you are not able to provide 4 requisites for female meditator who need to stay for a long retreat or lifelong meditation practice. As a result, I think of my previous meditation teacher, a venerable whom he may be able to give me reference to a certain meditation center. So that I can be permitted to stay with supported 4 requisites. In contrary, he teaches Burmese Mahasi method, which some of the teaching is totally different from your teaching. For example, emphasizing on observing the mental phenomena with bare awareness. But the technique worked well for me. During joining long intensive retreat, I was able to observe the mental phenomena with bare awareness until it disappeared for most of the time. But when I am at home and mindfulness is weak, I am not always able to do so. Emphasizing on continuous undisrupted momentary concentration, but not absorption concentration. Do you think that after my sick bedridden parent passed away, it's good for me to ask for Venerable to help, giving me reference so that I will be permitted to live in a suitable meditation center or monastery, which conducive for meditation practice, a practice different from your teaching? I always long for joining long-term meditation retreat, staying in a secluded, peaceful place, practicing under guidance of skillful meditation master. Now I'm always trying to be continuously mindful and meditate at home, but I feel that it is not very effective as when I join intensive retreat at the meditation center. Thank you very much, Tanajan. You're welcome. Since there is no question, then I wouldn't have to answer any of your questions. I think you're not asking me any question, you're just letting me know what's going on. Thank you. Chu Jin, good afternoon and my respect to Tanajan. Nice to be in your session again. I am from Malaysia. Thank you. Sue Kelly, thank you for the pep talk, Tanajan. You're welcome. Tony Yip, Satu Satu. Kevin Lee, good afternoon, Tanajan. After I exit my meditation, I found that there is a lot of confusion in terms of how my mind should be when I'm no longer in meditation and needing to interact with others like my family, or watch TV together or prepare for a meal. That causes some agitation and anxiety to the mind. How should I approach this after exit meditation? You should approach with mindfulness. You should approach everything with mindfulness. Interact with mindfulness. Do whatever you have to do, but remain calm and peaceful. Don't be emotional. Just merely knowing, observing what you have to do and what you are doing at the moment. You have to be in harmony with your surroundings. If you have to talk to people, you just talk normally. If you have to do things with people, you just do it. Don't try to resist. Don't try to go back into meditation mode. You are now not in meditation. You are now in action mode. So you have to keep doing what you need to do. Say what you need to say. And not doing anything or saying anything when you don't have to do or say anything. เมธินีวงศ์พยัคฆโยธิน Sadhu Sadhu. Chi Chin Chuan, good afternoon, Prajan. What is the first thing I should have to start my practice toward meditation? Is it chanting or sit-down meditation or developing wisdom? Thank you. When you start practicing, you can do either chanting first if you like. If you can sit and watch your breath, then you can just go ahead and watch your breath without having to do any chanting. It depends on the strength of your mindfulness. If your mindfulness is strong and your mind is not restless, you might be able to observe your breath right away. If you're not able to observe your breath right away, then you should do some mental chanting first. Chanting quietly in the mind, not having to use any verbal chanting. Chant until you feel your mind is calm enough to focus on your breath. Then you stop chanting. But before that, before you come to meditate, you should try to be mindful all the time first. From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Keep being mindful with your body movement. Keep watching your body. Stay with your body movement, your body action. Don't go away. Don't go away to think about other things. If you can do this, you will have strong mindfulness enough to sit and meditate and watch your breath right away. If not, then you have to do some chanting first. Te Ting Loon, how to deal with unsatisfactoriness of life. For example, having to do chores and having a dislike of regular life in general. Thinking of it as paying your debt, paying your bill. Nobody likes to pay their bills, but they have to pay their bills. In order to live comfortably, you need to pay your bill. In order to live comfortably, you need to do your chores. So you just have to pay. Nothing is free in life. So you have to pay one way or the other by hiring somebody to do the chores for you or do the chores yourself. Either way, you're gonna have to pay one way or the other. So accept this is part of life. Life is not free. Life is full of bills that you have to pay. Dear Tony, dear Ajahn, Buddha said there is no self, anatta. But why, when did Dana transfer merit, our past relative can be received? Because the past relative is no self, it means they're no longer our relative or have been born as the new five khandha. Please, Ajahn advice, thank you. Because they still remember themselves as being themselves, and so they haven't yet reached the point of anatta yet. So they still have a self in them. They still have the five khandha as a self. So to them, there's still a self in the five khandha. It's the same way with the people who transfer the merit. They still have self in themselves. So they haven't yet reached the point of anatta. If they reach the point of anatta, then there's no need to do any merit transfer. Once you become enlightened, once you start to become enlightened as a Sotapanna, you don't see the need to transfer merit for yourself, but you still transfer merit for other people, for the sake of other people. Sapruchai Namaskaran to Ajahn from Indonesia. Sucho Y Satu Satu. J.W. Lee, sincere apology for my question. It was impolite. Could you please kindly explain that? Whether it's good to find a place where there is plenty of mosquitoes in order to meditate well, creating fear from mosquito borne diseases or get sick from mosquito bite, malaria. ไหว้หลวงปู่มั่น Why Long Puman or his followers need to go into deep forest to meditate, and some of them die from fever, in spite of knowing that going to such forest is risky of death from such mosquito-borne disease. I remember that you said it's essential to create fear so that mindfulness is stronger. But as you know that I have been experiencing many health problems for a long time, living everyday life is already difficult for me. There is no single day that I am difficult. Oh, I'm sorry. Your question is too long. I have to skip. Thank you very much for your comment. I think the reason why monks go to the forest is to seek seclusion, solitude, being away from the distraction of the sensual objects. That's the main objective. But normally in forest you might have to run into some danger. But that's the risk they're willing to take in order to have a chance to improve their meditation practice. So the goal is not to go to seek danger, or principally. The goal is to go seek seclusion, solitude, away from all the distraction of the sensual objects. Saran Jankovic. As of now, I have just been able to manage my kilesa by keeping the precepts and meditation. But the prospect of arising of greed, hatred, and delusion in the future always exists. There seems to be no way to uproot sensuality for good. But I need to engage in solitude and take up more precepts in order to develop further. That's right, you need to keep the 8 precepts and take up and engage in solitude. Try to stay alone and try to be more what you call stop engaging yourself with sensual pleasures, like keeping the 8 precepts. Then you will have more time to meditate. Then you will be able to get rid of your sensual pleasure, desire for good. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Tanajan. Good afternoon to you. Kevin Lee, thank you, Tanajan, for guidance. If I may ask just 2 more questions. Is thinking necessary to develop wisdom? Yes. You have to think it in terms of the 3 characteristics of existence. When you see something, you have to think them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Secondly, is mindfulness just limited to one object? Or can it be abiding in the present moment without focusing on one object in particular? Yes, if you can abide in the present without letting your mind think about the past and the future, this is also a form of mindfulness. The goal is to stop thinking and just to be merely knowing. Vishal Kale, Satu, Pramsa JW, Satu, Eli Hassan, G Day, Good Day, Tanajan, Chi Chin Chuan, why when relative departed, when they reborn as human, animal or deva, they cannot receive our merit sharing, but as hungry ghosts, they are able to get it. Why is there still relationship between the alive with the hungry ghost? Thank you for explaining. The reason is those who doesn't need, those who have taken birth, they don't need your help. They don't need the merit from you. They can get the merit themselves. It's only the hungry ghosts that cannot get their merit themselves. So they have to rely on somebody else like you to send them some merit. If you're born as a human being, then you can make merit yourself. If you're an animal, you can find something to do for yourself to make you happy. But if you are a hungry ghost, you cannot do anything to make you happy. So you need some merit from other people to keep you happy. CK Sai, good afternoon, Tanajan. Thank you very much for your teaching. You're welcome. Pat Choi Chung, Satu Satu. Guatemala, Satu Satu. Martina Pawahaha. Dear Ajahn, interacting with you, things happen. Reading your autobiography, I entered into samadhi. After talking to you, my attention turned to inward. Then I became very alert. I could watch the mind. Another occasion, I saw the timeless reality. I lost the desire to move, to become. Then I experienced myself as a mighty free being. I no longer know which one is real. The world is real or the dream. My mind said I am crazy. How can interacting with the Master and listening to the Dhamma can make this experience happen? I don't know. I guess it just happened. What you have to know is how to maintain your sanity. As long as you stop thinking, you have to stop thinking. You have to stop interpreting the reality that you are in at the moment. Just be aware of the reality and teach yourself that this reality is impermanent. It is anatta. If you cling to it or if you try to understand it, it can give you suffering or dukkha. So don't try to understand it. Just merely know it for what it is. Know that sooner or later it will pass away. Know that it is something that you cannot control. So you should treat every reality that you experience as anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are all illusions. They are not real. So don't try to interpret them to be real. Accept it for what it is. Accept it for being impermanent. Sooner or later it will change or disappear. Accept it that you cannot do anything about it. Just accept and just be alert and be detached. Don't be consumed by what you see or experience. Everything comes and goes eventually. So there's no need to ask why. Just know what. Know them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's all you need to know. Jirapat Naranam, Namaskar Ajahn. Punnamitan, good day, Pante. Can I know why other people always pinpoint, blame and assume me even though I do not have any bad intention? I have overcome many transitions in life. Since 3 years in life, I have becoming more humble. But why others still get wrong perception about me? Please advise. Because they are blind, because they don't have wisdom, because they are still delusional just like you. So don't expect anything from people. They can judge you right, they can judge you wrong. They can treat you right, they can treat you wrong. That's the business. Your business is just to be detached from what they do. Leave them alone. Treat them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you will feel good. You'll feel okay. Right now, you want people to treat you right. When they don't treat you right, you feel bad. Your problem is your expectation from other people. So if you don't expect anything from other people, then you will feel good. You will not feel bad. Te Ting Lun. In what ways can sensual pleasure potentially hinder deep meditation progress? Because if you have sensual pleasure, you cannot have meditation. You cannot meditate. If you're watching a movie, you cannot meditate at the same time. You have to do one thing or the other. You cannot do both. Watching movies and meditation at the same time, you cannot do that. You have to choose which one you want to do. If you want to watch a movie, then you cannot meditate. If you want to meditate, then you have to stop watching movies. Kevin Lee, thank you, Ajahn, for your guidance. May you be healthy, sadhu, sadhu. You're welcome. Savante, sadhu, sadhu. 57. Okay, I have time to take a break. Dong Hong An, good afternoon, Ajahn. What would be your advice for a cancer patient who has been told that only has 2 months to live? Thank you. My advice is to look at your body, study the nature of your body, and accept the truth of this nature that the body is impermanent. One day it's gonna have to die. It is anatta, it isn't you, it doesn't belong to you. It is made from the 4 elements, and eventually it will return to the 4 elements. And just meditate and calm your mind. Keep your mind calm, then you will not be hurt by the sickness and the death of your body. Try to do as much mindfulness meditation as possible. Be either mindful of your breath or mindful of your action. Whatever you do, just keep watching. Don't let your mind think about the sickness. Don't let your mind think about any other thing. If you want to think only that the body is gonna have to die. The body is not you. The body is your servant. You are the master of your body. One day, the master and the servant will have to go separate ways. But the master doesn't die with the body. So the master, which is the mind, should not be agitated. If it is agitated, then it should keep meditating to calm it down. Then it will be calm, peaceful, and happy, and not hurt by the sickness and death of the body. Shapruchai Tanajan, how do you think a Buddhist make a living from trading stock while in the process always create greed and worry when the stock goes up and down? This is not the right way to work. The right way to work is to look at things as like a business. Business, you can sometimes win and sometimes you lose. So just think of it as a form of business, and then you have to accept loss as well as you accept gain. Yeah. If you find it is bad for your mind to do this kind of business, then you should change to other type of business. Soran Jakovic, thank you Ajahn for caring about so many of us. You're welcome. Question from Huang Lan, or Hang Lan, I'm sorry. Question from Hang Lan. I increased my meditation from 50 minutes to 80 minutes. In the beginning, my breath was short and quick, then followed by long, deep breath. I have a stopwatch which glances whenever I experience some changes in my mind and body. And during meditation, I count numbers with open eyes to fight drowsiness, or telling myself that leg pain is good for me so I can practice to calm my body. I stop my meditation because it is already 80 minutes. I intend to increase my meditation time and let my body and my mind to adapt themselves. Am I practicing correctly? If you can keep your mind calm and happy, then you are practicing correctly. From today, Hoi Ian, Satu Satu, Sabu Chai, Satu Satu. Luang Hong An, thank you Ajahn, Tan Ajahn. Angel Pui, hello Prajan, how are you? Kun Pui from Luxembourg, greetings from Luxembourg to you. Greetings to you, I'm fine, thank you. I hope you are too. So I have about 56 people in the meeting right now. It's pretty good sized class. Normally in the classroom you only have about 30 students. But here we have about 56 students, which is pretty good. And from all over the world. That's amazing, isn't it? To be able to come together from different places and study the same subject together. Okay, we still got about 22 minutes left in our meeting. So you can still keep sending in your question. Right now there are no comment or question for me to read. So I'll just take a little breather. Just take a little break. Rest my mouth. Chi Chin Chuan, dear Tanajan, I started meditating but only able to last 10 minutes. I use the timer to time myself. I feel very anxious during the meditation and keep thinking why 10 minutes is so long. How can I overcome such a problem? Because you don't have strong mindfulness, that's all. Your mind still keep running around thinking about everything. So you have to practice mindfulness before you start meditation. Try to stop your mind from thinking, from running around. Tie it to your body. Keep the mind watching the body. Stay with the body. Whatever the body is doing, stay with the body. If you're eating, just stay with the eating. If you are writing, just be with the writing. If you're walking, just be with the walking. Whatever you do, keep your mind in tandem with your body action. Then when you sit in meditation, then you can watch your breath or recite the mantra, Bhutto Bhutto. And you'll find that you will be absorbed in what you do. and forget about the time. Believe, Ajahn, how do we explain a person with the third eye? The third eye is the spiritual eye. Some people just being endowed with that ability to be able to connect with the spiritual world. We call the Upachara Samadhi, the eye that acquired from Upachara Samadhi. So if you have it, that's good. If you don't have it, that's also good. Because it doesn't help you with your enlightenment, your practice for enlightenment. So whether you have it, this third eye or not, is not essential. So don't worry about it. The BT, thank you for wonderful Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu. Saranj Jankovic, why are we addicted so much to all kinds of distractions? Because they are addictions. See? Everything that we see, we hear, we feel, we touch, they are like narcotics. Once you start to like them, you become attached to them, and you have to have them. You cannot live without them. Really, currently I am staying in a meditation center, and I can get seclusion in my kuti. The center also has a forest where we can stay. So since I already have seclusion in my current place, do I need to consider to stay and practice in the forest to get exposed to more hardship, to force mindfulness? What are the things I need to consider when deciding to increase the austerity practice? Your ability to do it or not. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready for more austerity practice? If you're not, then you're not. If you are, you are. You have to know it in yourself. Nobody else can tell you that. Normally, the more mindfulness you have, the more samadhi you have, then the more you will be able to take up more austerity and hardship. So this is up to your mindfulness and samadhi. If you have more samadhi, more wisdom, more mindfulness, then you will be able to take up more hardship, more austerity. So try to concentrate on developing mindfulness and samadhi first. Then you'll find out. Then you'll know whether you'll be able to take up more hardship and austerity or not. Believing, sadhu, Ajahn, for your explanation on the third eye. Believing, thank you for explanation on the third eye, sadhu. Chi Chin Chu and Tanajan, how do I tie my mind to my body? Can you explain further? When I do things, my mind is always on something else. For example, when I am writing, I like to have music or watching video clip. You have to turn them off, turn all distraction off, and then just keep focusing on your writing. You might have to slow things down a bit first by writing slowly or doing things slowly. Or another way you can do is to recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto as you do things at the same time. You can do this. Whatever you do, just keep reciting the Bhutto Bhutto. If you don't have to use your thoughts, if you have to use your thought in doing things, then you have to stop your mantra. But if you don't have to use your thought, and your mind wants to think about other things, then you can use the mantra to bring it back to what you do. As I am typing and listen to you now, I am also do other things. You are doing two things at the same time. So when you type, don't listen to what I am saying. Just focus on your typing only. And when you finish typing, then focus on listening only. Don't do both things at the same time. Esther, okay. A very good afternoon, Ajahn. Reading from Esther, smiling. Johor Bahru. Greeting to you. C.G. Lim, thank you with much gratitude, Ajahn, for the wonderful Dhamma teaching. Sadhu, sadhu. You're welcome. Hokem Tio, sadhu, sadhu. Enilam, sadhu, sadhu. Martina Pawahaha, thank you, Ajahn. Sadhu, sadhu. Looks like today we don't have much question. I guess part of it is because you have been listening to a lot of this Dhamma discussion already. So you know pretty much what you have to do. So really the whole thing that you need to do is to develop mindfulness. This is the first step in your practice. If you don't have mindfulness, you cannot advance further. So try to be mindful at all times. Then when you meditate, you'll find that you can sit and meditate for a long time. Chi Chin Chuan, does that mean before I start meditation, I should learn to do one thing at one time? Yes, that's right. After learning to focus on one thing at one time, then I follow up by reciting and chanting my mind. This is, if you can stay with what you do and not go elsewhere, you don't need to recite the mantra. If you find that you cannot stay with what you do, then you might have to recite the mantra. Yes, this is pretty much when you meditate, if you cannot watch your breath, then you should recite the mantra first or chanting first. Once your mind is calm enough to watch your breath, then you continue on watching your breath. Duihan, Tanajan is the ability to accept more austerity depends on mindfulness only, or also habit acceptance. Well, you need to have mindfulness to be able to force your mind into a habit or into accepting things. Without mindfulness, your mind will not want to accept things. So when you have mindfulness, then you're forcing your mind to accept things. I am questioning because I started to love my walking path, which I considered very dirty 3 months ago, and not sure why. That's because you accepted the dirtiness of your path now. It doesn't bother you, like when you first started. After you do something for a while, it becomes a habit. You can accept it. And the ability to do it depends on your mindfulness. You have to force your mind to keep doing the same thing over and over again until eventually you stop resisting. You begin to accept things. So you need mindfulness, strong mindfulness. Really, thank you very much for your guidance. Tony, dear Tanajan, every time I watch your live Pindabata video, I feel very rejoiced. Good for you. Sue Kelly, Tanajan, would you please advise on meditating when you're somewhere noisy, like my apartment building has been very noisy lately? Can I just be aware of those noise, or would you advise? If you can ignore them, then try to ignore them. In order for you to be able to ignore them, you need to have something to focus upon, like your breath or a mantra or chanting. Try to do chanting or reciting a mantra, or watch your breath if you can. Try to ignore the noise. But if you cannot ignore the noise, then you might use the noise as your object of meditation instead. But in order for you to stop your aversion to the noise, the problem is your aversion to the noise that cause you not to be able to meditate. So if you cannot ignore the noise, then if you have aversion to the noise, then you should try to reverse it by using the noise as your object of meditation at the starting point. Until your aversion stops, then you can then return back to your breath. You cannot use the noise all the time to bring your mind to calm and samadhi. You need to have your breath as the one that leading you inside. But if you cannot use your breath yet because of the distraction from the noise, then you might just use the noise as a way of stopping your aversion toward the noise. Once you have no aversion, then you might be able to return to watching your breath again. Chi Chin Chuan, thank you Ajahn. I will try to develop my mindfulness from now on. You're welcome. Dui Han, thank you very much for your explanation. You're welcome. Vivian Nguyen, hi Thanajan, I hope you are doing well in regard to meditation. How do I know when I have reached concentration? You will know because your mind will be empty and be alone, be quiet, be peaceful, happy and contented. So this is not something I can explain to you. You will have to experience it yourself. It is out of this world experience. That's all I can say. So you'll know when you reach that point. If you haven't reached that point yet, then you'll know you're not reaching that point yet. This is something that no one can explain to you how it is like. This is something you have to experience it yourself. It is an out of this world experience. You will feel so happy that you have never experienced this type of happiness before in your life. Xiao Shan, Ajahn, I listen to Ajahn, just meditate more and more from 3 hours daily to 4 hours daily and try to keep mindful all the time. No question except practicing more. Feel calm and happy. Thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Chi Chin Chuan, it is interesting to see that you, Ajahn, It's interesting to see that you, as Ajahn, also donated back to the devotees. As I saw you gave drinks and sweets back to the little children during Vindapata. I like to make people happy, especially little children. They appreciate just a little something, like a little sweet or something like that. You can create a smile on their face when you just give them a little gift. So I enjoy doing this. Makes people happy and make myself happy also. Sue Kelly, okay, thank you. Yes, it's the aversion for sure. Thank you for the advice. Sometimes chanting the Metta Sutta works, which I have memorized, but I'll try focusing on the noise when it isn't working to ignore it. Yeah, try it out. I think this will work for you. The problem is the aversion of the noise. Since you cannot stop it, then you have to use wisdom. Tell yourself this is anicca dukkha anatta. Like the weather, when it rains, it makes a lot of noise also. And you accept the noise from the rain. So you should accept the noise from other things as well. Once you accept it, then it won't bother you. Then you can focus on your breathing. Monica Chen, good afternoon, Thanajan. May Thanajan be well and happy. Thank you. Vivian Nguyen, thank you, Thanajan. Gabriel Chu, good afternoon, Thanajan. Is there a possibility for a layman to be a non-returner after death? Thank you. if you're not a non-returner now, it's probably not possible to be after death, because the possibility of being a non-returner is more when you are alive than when you are dead. If you are dead, then you might need the teaching of a Buddha or a noble disciple to connect with you. Like the Buddha gave Dhamma talk to the spiritual beings. You need somebody like that to continue teaching you so that you can become a non-returner. Pauline soon. Sadhu Sadhu Ajahn. Saran Jankovic. Every time I am not able to complete my meditation due to lack of time, I feel disturbed and annoyed by things. Is that a sign that my meditation has become essential thing that used for sensual gratification? That would not be the goal of achieving wisdom. No, I think it's just your desire at the wrong time, the desire to meditate is good, but you have to accept the truth that when you cannot meditate, then you should suspend your desire temporarily first. You just have the desire to meditate at the wrong time. So this causes you to have agitation and not happy. So don't feel disturbed after you cannot meditate. You just have to accept that this is just the time that you have. So when you don't have the time to meditate, don't have this desire to meditate, because have the desire to meditate and not be able to meditate can also make you restless and agitated or annoyed. So when you don't have the time to meditate, then don't have the desire to meditate. You should have the desire to meditate when you have the time to meditate. Then you can meditate, and then you can be happy and peaceful. Your meditation is never an essential thing. Meditation is a spiritual or mental thing. So it's just your desire being placed at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all. So if you have to go to work and you also have the desire to meditate, then you can feel annoyed. So you have to suspend your desire to meditate when you cannot meditate, and have your desire when you can meditate. Sapruchai, thank you Ajahn for your Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. Looks like we have 1.5 minutes left. So I think if you're not typing any question now, then it's not possible for you to do for today. You might have to wait till next week. But if you're still typing the question, please go ahead and send it in right now. I'll continue on for about another minute or so, reading your comment and your question, if there is any. Sapruchai, thank you Ajahn for your Dhamma teaching. Pauline soon. Why my mind feel Dhamma is surrounding me all this time? Seems like many things have to learn. Can Ajahn advise? Dhamma is surrounding you. That's because you're studying the Dhamma, practicing the Dhamma. Then you have the Dhamma surrounding you. Kwan Napa, Kwan Patum Napa, thank you very much. Christine Lim, thank you for today's teaching, Ajahn. Monica Chen, Tan Ajahn, is the technique of burning the body with fire until becoming one with the earth element. Only effective when the pain in the body is very intense and the mind is mindful. Thank you. I guess you will have to find out that yourself. But it has to be real to you. The pain will be real, will feel like fire burning your body. It has to be real. If it's not real, then it might not work. Pasana, thank you very much. Brownie, Nguyen, when is the next Q&A? What time? We are in the US. About this same time next week. This is Thailand. In Thailand, it's Sunday right now. About noon. About noon. Before a little before, a little bit before, or a little bit after noon. So you have to figure out your own time. I cannot tell you your local time. But I'll be back just about this time, 1 hour early on, or slightly before or after. Soran Jakovic, thank you, Ajahn. Monica Chen, Sadhu. Check Ling Tan, dear Tan Ajahn, I love watching you give drinks and sweets to the children. Made them so happy. When you gave us Dhamma teaching, it makes us so happy. We are so lucky to have Tan Ajahn who are so full of metta. You're welcome. Thank you for your sweet words also. It makes me happy. All right. Thank you very much for your participation in this Dhamma meeting. I hope you gain some benefit from this discussion and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, stay healthy, and keep on practicing the Dhamma teaching. One day you will become enlightened. If all goes well, I'll see you again next week at around the same time. Thank you and goodbye.